Hey guys, it's Dibbles here, the Baron's Finest, getting you the deck profile from my team's victor list that wound up getting top 8 in the Bushy Road Springfest 2018 Team League. I was seat B on my team, where seat A was, I'm pretty sure seat A was Chaos and seat C was Neonectar. I get the seats mixed up just because, you know, B is the only one that's ever actually consistent. But I wound up playing 2 Overlords, 2 Deleters, 2 Gurgits, for 6, and then 1 Victor Mirror, which is my only loss, and that was because I had to give him first stride. I tried playing the grade 2 game as long as I could, and then I wound up also losing to Asha in top 8, and when you draw 3 PGs in this deck, it just kind of sucks, but you can only do so much. There are going to be 2 videos on this. There's the shorter list that'll just be its own separate video. So if you don't care to hear about my thought process or anything, just go ahead and check out that video. If you do want to hear my thought process, then you're in the right place. But yeah, we wound up getting top 8. Our team's record was X1 going into top 8. And then in our first round of top 8, we all just kind of lost. We couldn't exactly do anything about it. We all kind of had bad matchups. My Chaos player got paired against Victor, and then my Asha player got to get paired against Gridora, and that was his first and only time really playing against Gridora, so he didn't know what he was doing. And obviously I just couldn't draw pieces. But without further ado, we're going to get started on the deck list. So this is my victor list for post the Galaxy Stargate. Really not going to change a whole lot. There's like 1, maybe 2 cards I'd change. But to start off with, geez, I hate the way my tripod's set up right now. 1 Transmigrating Evolution Marayo. The starter for the clan. I wanted a starter that could just get off the board as fast as possible, and this card does that. Rumble, while admittedly my favorite Nova Grappler starter in the entire clan, just not good right now. Kabutron sticks around on the board for too long, so it's going to get retired, it's going to get locked, it's just not going to do anything. And this card at least fetches you your grade 3s, which is important. Also, I do have to apologize that I am missing some pieces in this deck right now, just because I had to borrow some stuff, but, you know, when you have to borrow your deck, you can only do so much. For triggers, we played for the block crit, best crit, in all honesty. Part of the reason why I feel like this deck is really good. 3 break pass, honestly, I think this is the worst crit in the entire deck. I don't even want to continue to play this card, but I don't feel like, I'm not going to cut it entirely. However, I might cut a copy for a 4th Red Lightning. I think Red Lightning is infinitely better. You sometimes need to be able to start enabling your countercharge engine, and this card just helps with that. Sometimes you just want the Sulfur Dogon Titan, or you need to do something else with your Dogon Titan. Maybe you need to unlock a card, but Red Lightning was really good. I also did play 2 stands in the form of 2 Energy Girl. This card is insane. Kevin Cho, I know, was playing Kachi Wall in his list. And I get the point of Kachi Wall because you can stand it, Soul Blast an additional card for winning champ, and then put it back in a deck, draw a card, say something else. But I felt that Energy Girl just enabling attacks for free while making certain columns hit numbers. Like Sazonda plus this is still hitting 11s. And it hits Grand Gallop too because it hits 13. Sure, this card doesn't draw you a card, but I feel like it's worth it as a trade-off. And then last but not least, for heal, I did not play any draws. I didn't feel there was a need to. I want to win, ideally by my 2nd stride, and this trigger ratio helped me a lot with that. So that does it for the deck, or trigger ratio, excuse me. It is 10 crit, 2 draw, 4, 10 crit, 2 stand, 4 heal. There we go. So that does it for the zeros. As for the ones, 4 copies of the Perfect Guard. Again, I had to borrow stuff. I don't own the entire deck, and I actually picked up a lot of my SPs there. But Boreon, such a good PG. I would not play Lady Cyclone. I was really iffy about this card at first, but after just playing it more, I realized it's really good. 4 Stride Fodder. This is actually a really important piece now because of the fact that it corrects your grade 3. Before you didn't, while Extreme Battler was the better one to ride compared to Excessive, there were plays where you wanted Excessive. Now you just never want to ride Excessive and you only want to ride Zubat. However, I am changing the 3 lineup slightly after today. 3 copies of Jarahawk, card makes plays, enough said. Best Jeffrey clone out of all of them. And then 3, Gunsden. This card is also really good. This actually came up a lot against my deleter matchup. Or my matchups, I should say, because I could just stop the G-Guard. I actually forgot to do this once against a deleter G-Guard, and I just ate his G-Guard to the face, but it didn't matter. But that does it for the 1s. Pretty basic. I wouldn't really change the 1s at all. It's only the 3s that I would change, and even then I'd only change like 1 card in it. As for 2s, we played 4 copies of the best 2 in Golsachi. This card justifies not having to max out on cards like Sazanda. And also, Sazanda is infinitely better than Severed Temper for the people who are wondering. Because of the ruling of how timing works on restand, when both this card and Temper restand, they check at that point for their GB conditions, and because of, again, like winning champ flipping after something stands, Temper will not get its 5k from being restood if it's like restanding when you have nothing face up in G zone. So you have to have stood something before it in order to get its GB proc off, but at that point, you might as well just play the Sazanda. 3 Ninjad. Ninjad admittedly is really good. I feel this card is better in late game compared to Golsachi, which is better early game. More face up in G zone. This card can start hitting like 17 on its own. It's a really good card. And then for another early game card, also do help out with the fact I'm not playing draws. I played 2 copies of Arnest. For those of you who don't know what Arnest does, on call, Soul Blast 1, rest itself and any other unit on your field. I believe it has to be rearguard though. Just do double check. Yeah, choose one of your other rearguards and rest it. Draw a card, and then GB1, you can retire it, stand one of your guys. This is really nice with Gunsden because you can rest it, rest the Gunsden, retire it, stand the Gunsden. Gunsden's power procs off, and it just gets really big. Or you can do it with your starter if you say have it as soon as you write it 2, where you can rest the starter, draw a card, then starter skill, check out 5. I did both those plays a fair bit. I honestly think this 2 lineup is really good. I really wouldn't change anything. I don't think Ninjad is ever worth maxing. And then as for the 3s, we played 3 copies of Excessive Battler Victor. This is the one card I want to change. I want to cut 1 and play 1 Extreme Battler Victor, because if you ride Extreme against the leaders and you just get in a position where you can't stride, Extreme is really good. The plus 5k on both itself and the guaranteed restand just helps in that sort of grind game, because there will be times where you're just not striding against the leaders. It happens. And then last but not least, the main boy for Zubat Battler Victor. This card carries so hard. This deck, honestly, is like one of the best cards in the deck, if not, well, probably the best main deck card. I wouldn't even mind like not getting Golsachi. Well, actually, I'd say this, then Golsachi are probably like the 2 new best main deck cards. Drawing cards is really good. Resources is really good. Sometimes this deck actually has an issue with too much soul, so that's the awkward thing about it. And then, which I admit, I kind of like chose logic on the Kachi while there with the winning champ combo. But that does it for the 3s. Again, I would only change probably 1 excessive for 1 extreme battler. And then as for the G zone, 1 favorite champ. I never went into this card all day. It is a good card, but I wound up winning by second stride where I didn't even want it. Stark, another card I also never went into all day. Good card, but again, just never came up. Dreiger, almost went into it, just did it. I went into a lot in playtesting, however. Tribrute, there was nothing else worth playing in my G zone right now. Arguably, I could play a 3rd Victal Plasma. I could arguably play a 3rd Winning Champ, but there's nothing that I felt was super worth it. I might make this into a 3rd Victal Plasma, however, just to have the option of it. And then 1 Sabreeze. This card's really good. You have a lot of cheeky plays with Sabreeze, especially like if you say Mariah for like if you have Red Lightning and Mariah and you resolve the Mariah, but you still have 2 CB available, you can ride the Zubat, Red Lightning skill, get yourself an extra counter charge, and then go into Sabreeze and then get Zubat's skill off. So that does it for all our 1 of strides. For our 2 of strides, we played 2 copies of Winning Champ. I don't feel like you need 3, but you can. This is where my G-Zone I know is going to be controversial, and a lot of people at the event disagreed with me on this. 2 copies of Medio Kaiser Victor. This is the strat I won most of my games on. I typically went winning champ into Medio Kaiser Victor, just beat people out. Because if you're in a situation where like you have basically any combination of these in your front row, and then you like proc Zubat skill off that turn, you can Zubat Sazanda, and then Medio Kaiser's GB3 will pick one of these 2. It's really good. You accelerate your game state so much. It's just numbers that shouldn't even need to happen. It gives you a second number strat. I typically tried to go into Medio Kaiser when I didn't have Soul, so then I could justify it over winning champ. Overall, though, if winning champ second time would be a correct play because I had just had too much Soul, or it got Soul out of what I had, then I would go for the second winning champ. And then 2 Victoplasma. These were the 6 strides that typically won me the game. I went into these guys like all day. I wouldn't change anything. I was testing Bustard a lot. I don't think... It's not that I think Bustard's bad, but I feel Medio Kaiser is better because if you just have your front row, you can still play the game. Whereas with Bustard, if the instant you lose 1 card on your field, Bustard turn is done. And Medio Kaiser still just gives power. I am losing the restanding Vanguard, but that's why we play this. So that does it for those 6. And then for our G-Guards, actually I might change the G-Guards a little bit too, but just by 1 card. The worst card in the G-Guard lineup was Unior. I never went into this all day. I typically had 1 resource available to me, be like 1 face-up counter boss damage, or just too much Soul. I'm going to cut this for a Dismal more than likely. I think Dismal's a better spot. There were times where I wanted Colburn too, but those were times where I bricked anyways and I was probably just going to lose, so probably not going to play the Colburn, probably just going to play the Dismal. 1 Medio Kaiser Gundreed. I went into this twice, and I resolved double PG with it, so I just basically told my opponent, hey, I'm not counterblasting because I'm just going to unflip it anyways because your attack didn't hit. And then the most important G-Guard, 3 copies of Medio Kaiser Dogon Titan. Best G-Guard in the entire clan. I almost feel it's worth justifying 4. I bumped it up to 3 last minute. I do not regret playing the 3rd. Especially in my round 6 Deleter matchup. I believe it was round 6. I did not stride outside first stride. And then I basically had to keep undeleting my Vanguard. And because I just kept hitting my heals, I just could keep undeleting myself. It was really good. I love Dogon Titan. Dogon Titan's probably the best card in the deck. I'd say Dogon Titan, best card in the deck. But I think that's actually going to do it for this deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to leave me some feedback. Again, this is the longer version of the deck profile, so if you want a shorter version of it, just go ahead and hit the short video that'll be posted. It's its own thing. This one is, again, the team video. There we go. Perfect. There we go. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to leave some feedback. After this will be whatever the CZ is. I don't remember off the top of my head. My mind is super fuzzy right now. I just woke up the day after the event. And that's going to do it for now, guys. So until next time, peace.